Alrighty, so here in week 6, you have your first word lab test. Okay, so I want to walk you through conceptually and practically how to at least complete it. Okay, so unlike what we've been doing so far with like the word labs 4, this is actually a test where you need the full Microsoft access. Okay, I'm sorry, Microsoft Word. Now, I have provided links, and I'm sure I've talked about this in the start here already. So this is really just giving you that once you're ready to work on this assignment, okay? So I'm going to start by going into my IT lab for our course. Now, in here, of course, under course materials, you're going to see a couple of new options today that were not available before now. And that will be that I've opened up 2 things. One is Excel and one is the exams. Okay, so we have finished Word. So now we're moving on to your first exam. But also during this week, you have a Excel, which is no different as far as the way that it operates as before. I recommend doing the trainings to help you do well on the exam. But I want to go over this one because it's different. It's actually, we're going to have you do something in Microsoft Word versus simulation, which is what you are doing here. Okay, now I'm going to click on exams. And in exams, you'll see hands-on test. And then now there'll be only one listed. And you might go, Rio, you did really badly. I'll explain why, and it's a really important part of this. So first, let's just open it to take a look. I will tell you, you have 3 attempts at this exam, okay? And you don't have to start over. So let me go ahead and go into that before I explain more. So when I click on it, very much like what you got with the other programs, you do get a pop-up, right? So in this pop-up, though, this is where it's going to look completely different. You're going to download some starting materials. You're going to work on it on your computer, and then you'll upload the completed assignment, and then you'll submit it for grading. So there's 4 steps you have to complete here. And you need to make sure you're on the same computer when you download, work on, upload, yes, and then submit. So don't start this on one computer and then move to another computer, because these downloaded materials are going to be specific for your computer. Now, I hate to say this, but I don't hate to say it, but I don't want to be, just to be clear, is that if somebody gives you a file, it will not work, because this is going to be specific for your particular computer. Okay, so let's download the files. So let me click here. And there's 2 ways you can do this. Now, this is the instruction, and this is the actual document itself, okay? Now, I tend to like to download all, but you can download them individually if you want. It's really up to you. So let me show you by download all what happens. Now, down here on the bottom of my screen, and it might be a little hard to see, but my browser has downloaded a zip file. Okay, now I'm on a Mac. It doesn't matter, Mac, PC. I'll show you both ways to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to hit show all. And what that does is in the browser, you have, and I suspect you've seen this before, you can say show in File Manager, or in Mac, you say show in Finder. And all this does is brings up the zip file. Okay, now there's a lot of files here, so don't let it confuse you. It's really just this is latest zip file right here. Now on Windows, you'd right click and you would have an option that says extract all. So look for that. So again, on Windows, right click, find the extract all. On the Mac side of this, actually all you have to do is double click onto it. And when you double click, it actually extracts the contents and puts it in a folder. Okay, so now in that folder, if we open it up as in here, I can see I have 2 files. Okay, so I'm going to open up the first one, and then I'll open up the second one as well. So let me open up the first one. Now this is your starter file. Okay, so this is your starter file right here. This is what you're going to start with. Now this is actually your instructions, what you're going to do, how you're going to complete the lab, okay? Now, what's cool here is that, of course, you can adjust this. I typically, because I have two screens, will put one on one screen and one on the other. You can also increase this to like 150 so you can easily see this, right? So what you're going to do, and you see that you have, look how many steps, right? 17, really the last one is just closing it, which by the way, you do need to do the close before you do the upload. So let's just walk through the first one just to give you an idea of what we're talking about, okay? So now, I'm working on my Mac on Word for Mac. So sometimes I have to look around for things. And if you're on Mac, there's a video to show you how to install Office, but you don't actually have to do that for Word, although you totally can, okay? Okay, so here I am. First step is download, which I did, and save as Word. And you can, and very specific here, and it tells you the file name. So I would come up here to home, right? Actually here, save as. Okay, and then I would say, okay, so, and then what I would do here in this directory, I'd get rid of, now this is just file management kind of stuff, Word lab, end. So this is start, this is the end. Now you're not done yet, you're just saving the file. Now it's going to add a new file into that folder that we extracted a minute ago. So good, cool, right? Now the rest of this I'm going to have you do on your own. The only thing I'm going to say about this first one is this idea of sideline style. And let me just show you, okay? So what it wants you to do is insert, right? And in this case, because I'm a little smaller, I'm not seeing there we go, cover page, right? So when you insert a cover page, it's going to say, hey, choose a particular cover page style. And for many versions of Word, and even the newer ones, it does not show this side style. Okay, so here's what I would say to you. Just choose probably the one I think is closest based on just where I've looked at it, is this one, which is the headlines, but you could also play with it. The key is you're going to need to, and I just selected it, and now you go through, right? And as the company name, and that was the only thing, company organization. So now you have to figure out Fresno City College is the company name, and I'm like, company address, so company name might go down here, right? There is also, you could search online to get this template. So now you just have to follow the steps of filling in particular areas with that. Okay, so again, this is the process. Now, if for some reason you use a cover letter, cover page, and it marks off, but you've included all the required information in your submission, just tell me and I'll review that when you do it. Okay, so you'll go through, you'll do all the required steps to the document itself. Okay, when you're done, you'd hit save, making sure, now by the way, autosave typically is on, so you'll just walk through. These aren't too bad. So just walk through and do all of them. You'll do a footer at the end and then save and close. Okay, so at this point, this is the job you get to do, was just to work through all these steps. Okay, now I'm going to go back to my IT lab. Okay, so now I've done this. Now, step 2, we just showed you, which is work the assignment on your computer. And this preview is just really those steps that we've already seen that was in that other document. Okay, so now comes the part where you uploaded a completed assignment. So you've worked through all the steps, and now you choose file. Now here's the key, is make sure you choose the right file, because in this case, it's the end file, the one we've actually, I got to make sure I'm in the right one because I've done this multiple times. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to go to desktop just to make sure I'm on there. Downloads. And on downloads, this would be it. Now I haven't really done anything to this file, so I'm still going to earn a bad grade. But in course, really, it's just showing you how to do this, okay? The functionality of it. So choose the, and again, I did this twice, so it gets a little confusing. So make sure, hopefully on your side, you only see one. You can see the name of the folder that you should have. Hit open. And now what this is doing is giving you the option. It's saying, okay, I have the file. You click submit or upload there. And now it's going to be like, oh yeah, I got it. Cool. We're good to go. Now this is where I recommend, or I tell you, don't start it on one computer and finish on another, because that's actually what I ended up doing, because I worked through all the items and they seem pretty doable. I did have to do a little review and a little searching to find some stuff, but it was doable. And then I'm going to submit for grading. Okay, right? Cool. So I've actually submitted that. And if I come back here, what it's going to do, and now I'm on my second attempt. Cool. So now the cool thing is you can do this 3 times. So the nice thing is you can actually go view submissions and it will show you exactly what you got wrong and you can fix it. Now, again, I didn't do anything that second time, right? I was showing you how to do it. But here's the awesome thing is you can go through and actually see in red, right, where you got things wrong. And you can fix it. Now here's the deal. You can fix it on the file you already downloaded. You don't have to do it again. You don't have to go through all the steps. All you do is you pull up that document that you were working on right here and fix the steps you got wrong. Okay? Cool. And so what you can do now you're all done and you're like, I'm good with the score that I got. Then you go ahead and create that report that I've shown you how to do before. As a matter of fact, let's just look at that real quick just to see that, because it might look just a little bit different here. Go in here. I was already in there. Course activity, go ahead, I see it. I'm just looking for the print, so there actually might not be for this particular one. Oh, there it is. There's your print. So this is no different than what we've seen before. Good, right? So this shows me points possible and the points that you got, right? So then you can just say on your submission what your earned points were, right? So save that as a PDF. I've shown you how to do this before. This is no different than what we've done in the past, right? Pages, and instead of this, I would choose PDF. Cool, do it that way, hit save, and then, and this is the key, get that PDF going. I'm not going to do it here, but once you're done and you got to do this step, you have to submit it in here. Okay. Again, the submission part of this is no different than what we've done before. The work part of it is the different part, and you have to submit the PDF here. Okay, so this is 100 points. This is a good part of your grade, so it is important to get this. Now, if you run into issues, of course, the sooner you do it, the sooner you can reach out. You could also ask on Discord if you happen to be there. If you're not, consider getting there, right? So hope this helps you understand how to do that. I will say one last thing. There is one of the faculty, Robert DeVoe Peterson, and I did look yesterday. He has the word lab test. Let's see, word lab test. Now, this is a little older version, but he generally walks you through some of the first beginning steps to see how to do that. So if you want to check that out, he doesn't walk you through the whole thing, right? You just search for Robert DeVoe-Peterson word exam, and you will see a little older version. So it's not going to be exactly the same, but it will help you get through those first couple of steps. All right, hope this video helps you.